I'm Saturday hauling for you guys today, and I did upgrade my camera. This one does shoot in 4K, but I haven't quite figured out that part yet, but it'd be kind of cool if I can start uploading in 4K. But the quality on this is supposed to be an improvement from the last camera that I had, so hopefully it turns out. The viewfinder looks good, so we shall see. The brand Ofra was having a sale on their website, so I went ahead and purchased 2 more of their highlighters. They make some of my favorite highlighters. I think they're just absolutely stunning on the skin. If you're not into that really high shine, these guys are not for you because they have a really reflective properties to them. So this first one is a collab with Madison Miller, and it is the highlighter in Moon Dance. There's 0.35 ounces of product. It has the same type of packaging to it. And then here is the highlighter inside. I have got this highlighter on the top of my cheeks and all the kind of high points that I like to put highlighter on, and it's absolutely stunning. This one has just a little less gold in it than Star Island, which is one of my favorite highlighters from Ofra, and I think it's absolutely stunning. There were actually 2 shades that came out with the collaboration, and I just wasn't sure about the other shade. It looked like it would be too deep on my skin tone. If you've gotten it and you think it'll work for me, let me know, because I love the Ofra highlighters. So this is the collab with Madison Miller, and the shade again is called Moon Dance right there. And I'm going to swatch it next to Star Island for comparison. The difference, I mean, it's very slight, but there's more of a gold in Star Island than Moon Dance, but they are very, very similar. I almost feel like Moon Dance also has just a little bit more shine to it, but both very gorgeous. And then I also ordered the shade Neptune, which I didn't get the Neptune shade before I got the Retrograde from Ulta, which is a split pan. And Neptune is basically the purple in the split pan of the Retrograde highlighter that I got at Ulta. And I'm pretty sure this is Star Island on this side. So I'm just gonna go ahead and swatch both of these for you guys as well, so you can kind of see. So this is Neptune, and it's all kind of a icy purple shade, very, very light purple. So here's Neptune right there, and then here's Retrograde, which I definitely did not need Retrograde. So these are kind of the same, and then these are the same. So I'm pretty sure this is Star Island, and then this is Neptune right here. And then I also purchased the new Too Faced Palm Springs Dreamz Cocktail Party Eyeshadow Palette. This is what the box packaging looks like. I am just a known sucker for all the Too Faced eyeshadow palettes. There is pretty much nothing new in terms of the shades or anything like that in this palette, but it's just a cute one nonetheless that I like to add to my collection. So this palette contains 12 eyeshadows that are 0.04 ounces a piece, which is kind of mid-range in terms of the amount of product that you're getting. Here is the cover, and I believe this is kind of like a cardboard inlay inside of a hard plastic type of packaging. Then you open it up, it's got the little peach closure right there, and there is a mirror, and then here are your 12 eyeshadows. For matte shades, you've got Cabana Time, Saucy Bossy, BYOB, Rum Tiki, She's Lit, and Mocktail, which for me, there's a light enough matte brow bone, there's good transitions, and there's a nice deep shade, and there's also some really pretty shimmers. The lightest shimmer is this kind of Dirty Martini shade right there, but I was able to get some pretty looks out of it. Nothing revolutionary, nothing in terms of new shades we haven't already seen from Too Faced. There are 2 shades that are a little stiff because they're kind of like those glittery shades, and that's Swizzle Stick, excuse me, and Buzzkill. So these 2 right here are kind of like almost like topper glitter type shades. So let me swatch these. The mattes in these are nicely pigmented. They build and they blend really well. I was pretty happy with the matte eyeshadows in here. And then their normal shimmers are pretty as well. So there are the first 4. And then these next 4. And then the last 4. This would be a good one if you like the shades and you don't own any Too Faced palettes. So there are the swatches for the Too Faced Palm Springs Dreamz eyeshadow palette. And then next up, I have got the new Sonia G Sky face set to share with you guys today. Sonia and Beautylish sent these over to me. I nearly fainted when I seen like the teaser pics of these brushes because blue is my favorite color and I'm a huge fan of Sonia G brushes the way that it is. The quality is just like superb quality. And Sonia G herself is a handmade Japanese makeup brush connoisseur herself. She's got an entire room dedicated to her brush collection, and she's collected brushes far before she ever released her own set. So if anybody knew how to make a beautiful handmade Japanese makeup brush, it would be her. I pulled brushes from her other collections to compare with you guys so you can kind of see the differences in the heads of the brushes. So this first one I'm going to show you. The electricity just went out. Really? Oh my god. That was interesting. 3 hours later here. Now where was I? We were talking about Sonia G's new Sky face set makeup brushes that are coming out on Monday, noon Central Time. So I want to show you the ones in the collection and compare them to ones that are already in her collection so you guys can see the difference between the two. My favorite color is blue, so these handles just give me all the feels. They are just so beautiful. So this first one here is the mini cheek brush, and I use this one today to set concealer, and it's most comparable to the Detail Pro brush with the red handle. The mini cheek is larger than the Detail Pro. I really enjoy brushes like this to set my concealer, but they're also really great highlighter brushes. So you've got the new mini cheek with the Detail Pro right there for comparison. The new one is pinched. You can see on the side there, and this one is all the way around. Next up, we have got the Master Face Brush, which is kind of like a powder brush, but I also think it'd be really good for all over bronzing or just a dusting of powder. Today I was using it to kind of take the shine down, which I've had to do a couple times because of how my day is going. And I'm going to go ahead and compare that one to the, I'm going to butcher this, it's the Inochige Pro, I-N-O-C-H-I-G-E Pro brush, which is this guy right here. And then the Face Pro, which has got an angle to it. So both of these are good powder bronzer brushes as well. And then here is the new Master Face right here. So these two are all the way around, and this one has got a pinch to it and an angle. So you can see the brush heads there. This one is all the way around and has a nice dome to it. Then we have got the Worker Fan right here. It's got a pinch to it as well. I use this today for bronzer. One of my all-time favorite bronzing brushes is the Sculpt 1 right here, which is quite a bit larger than this one. This one is good if you really want to sculpt out those cheekbones. I've also used these fan brushes for blush and really precision powdering as well. They're just really kind of versatile. So here it is next to the Sculpt 1 brush. Here's the Worker Fan. And I think that's why she calls them the workers, because they're very versatile. They can do many things. And then I'm going to compare it next to the Sculpt 2 brush, which the Sculpt 2 brush is a bit smaller. Same kind of size, but it's a smaller one right there. And then here is the Sculpt 4 brush right here, which has got an angle to it for comparison. I'm going to put the larger one down so you guys can really see the difference between these three. So you've got the new Worker Fan is the blue guy. Ugh, these handles are so pretty. And then you've got Sculpt 2 and Sculpt 4. And the new Sky set does have the handles that go smaller at the end, where her first original face brushes have got that thicker handle with her emblem on the bottom. Next up, we've got the Soft Cheek brush, which is another really versatile brush. I've used this for blush today. I feel like the majority of these brushes in this collection are really versatile. You can use them for setting, for powder, bronzer, blush. They have a lot of functions that you can use them for, which is really handy. So this one is the Soft Cheek. And then the other one that came in the same collection here is the Classic Cheek, which is a little bit shorter and it's slightly pinched, where the Soft Cheek is all the way around. This one has got a pinch to it. So it's got a slight paddle effect to it right there. So you've got the classic cheek and the soft cheek, and I'm going to compare them to the Cheek Pro right here, which is also pinched but not as long as the classic cheek. It's shorter but also pinched. And then you have got the Face 2, which is all the way around, and it's a little bit shorter as well than the classic cheek. So you can compare them right there. You've got the Face 2 is this guy, Cheek Pro, soft cheek, and classic cheek right here. So you can see the differences right there. Such a beautiful collection of brushes. I'm like, come on, eye set. It's got to be coming, right? So these are all the brushes right here. Try to get them all in the shot. Like they're just really, really versatile brushes. You can use them for multiple things. Highlighter, blush, bronzer, all over powder, sculpting, and again with these handles, you guys. These handles are so pretty. They're just beautiful. And then it says Sonia G on there and what the brush is. So I'm trying to get you guys to be able to see them real well. Look at how they, like, in the light is so pretty. I absolutely adore those. Thank you so much, Sonia, for sending those over, and Beautylish. And then I was in Ulta and I picked up a couple things from Colourpop. I got this lip liner in BFF, which I feel like I got long ago when they first launched. It kind of just sounds familiar, maybe not. But this is the lip liner that I have on my lips today, and I've got it on with MAC's Cream Cup lipstick. It's just a really nice nude shade. It's not quite as cool as Iconic Nude from Charlotte Tilbury. It's a little bit warmer, kind of a warmer peach kind of nude shade, and I think it looks really pretty with the Cream Cup lipstick from MAC. So I got that guy. And then I also saw this X's and O's pressed powder palette right here. So I picked up this guy because I really shouldn't be like this because they release collections so often, but I try to collect the Colourpop palettes, and I'm like, you need to stop because they release so many. But anyway, I picked up this guy here. I really get along well with Colourpop's eyeshadows. The newer pressed glitters are kind of iffy, but their standard formula, their mattes and their shimmers are really, really nice. This one doesn't have any pressed glitters or any of the Super Shocks in them. I don't really care for the Super Shock shadows in their palettes either, but this one doesn't have any. You've got 3 shimmers on top, which are these 3, and then you've got one down here, which is a shimmer. And then you've got a matte shade right here with golden sparkles in it. So let's give you some swatches. I'm really hoping that my camera is doing a good job. I'll find out when I get into the editor. So those are the first 4. And these middle shades. It's a very warm one. Oh, I didn't do a very good job wiping the other swatches off. And then this last row. And again, Colourpop's shadows are magnetized in the palette, which is a fabulous feature. So there are the swatches for the X's and O's palette from Colourpop. Then I recently found myself in the Walmart and I was checking out just the makeup as one does, right, when they're in the Walmart. And I came across some new shades of blush from Revlon. I hadn't seen these ones before, and they do say new shade, and they just look like really pretty colors. So I purchased these guys. I have got 029 Rose Balm on my cheeks today for a blush, which is this guy right here. It's kind of got a, I'd say it's like a satin finish. But these are really nice blushes. They're like very pigmented and soft too. Like I didn't have to tap my brush in there very hard at all to get product to pick up. But that is 029 in the shade Rose Balm. Again, that's from Revlon. And then the other shade I got is 032 Wild About Violet, which is kind of a cool tone pink with silver sparkles in it. Back in the day, this blush was my jam. Like I lived for these shades. I still live for them, otherwise I would never bought it, right? But that is Wild About Violet right there. And then on one of the end caps, they had new blushes from NYX. They're the Sweet Cheeks. I got two that are matte and then one that's the glow shade. And these were in a box, so you couldn't really see the actual product. And this one's a little bit darker, but it kind of gives that sunburnt effect, which I don't mind in the summertime. So this is the Sweet Cheeks Glow Creamy Powder Blush in Citrine Rose right here. This is the packaging. And this is the one that has got the shimmer in it. These are really nice blushes as well. This next one is the shade Daydream, and this one is a matte. Even though these ones are called mattes, I still feel like there's I feel like there's a glow factor to even the matte shades, but there's not like noticeable shimmer. They just have a really pretty glow to them, if that makes sense. So that guy is Daydream. So pretty. And then I also got the shade Rose and Play, which is a warm toned pink shade right here. These are really nice. They're so soft and finely milled. It looks like a warmer pink in the pan. Yeah, it's definitely warmer than that violet shade from Revlon. But these are from NYX, and they're their Sweet Cheeks blushes. So that guy is Rose and Play right there. And then I purchased this palette from Give Me Glow. It's called Vintage Rose. I've got one other palette from these guys, and it's really pretty. It's called Summer Vibes, I think is what it's called. And I'd like to get a couple more of their palettes, but they're out of stock a lot. I'd like to get their neutral palette, and there's one other one, but in any event, I caught this one when it released. So it's the Give Me Glow Vintage Rose palette. It's pretty packaging. This is kind of like an indie brand. And then you've got a mirror in there. And these are also magnetized inside, so you can pull these out of the packaging if you want. This palette has 4 mattes. You've got Blush Pink, Velvet Petals, Aged Rose Stem, and Rust Rose. And then it's got 4 really high shine, super metallic shades. Like, wait till you guys see the swatches of these, because it's crazy. This is actually the palette that I have on my eyes today. I have got Wet n Wild's Brûlée underneath the brow. Otherwise, I'm wearing this guy right here. Those metallic shades though, they're mattes. That's a matte pink shade, like mega pigmentation. Yeah, I would love if their other palettes would come into stock, because I'd like to get them as well. So there's the top row. Look at those. And then the bottom row. This shade is stunning. I blended this green, this shade right here, this Rust Rose shade, into that green today. And it was a little tricky, but together I think it turned out really pretty. Look at those colors. Look at those. Those are so pretty. So that is the Vintage Rose eyeshadow palette from Give Me Glow Cosmetics. So nice. And then lastly here, I've got the Nars Make Up Your Mind Express Yourself palette. I've actually had this for a while and I keep forgetting to haul it. It's got the standard Nars packaging with a large mirror inside, and then you have got 3 blushes and a bronzer and 8 eyeshadows. These 2 shades right here have got some pretty large chunks of like glitter and sparkle in them, but on the lid they reflect so pretty. For blush, you've got Dolce Vita, Orgasm, and Luster, and then you have got Laguna bronzer in there. So I'm going to swatch the face products for you guys. It's kind of shades from the permanent range. Right here. Some of those, I thought I wiped those swatches off good enough, but just real classic Nars products, to be honest. So if you're familiar with Nars products, these are pretty standard. And then we'll swatch these shadows. Which, swatching this palette after swatching the Give Me Glow, you're probably like, meh. But for the everyday gal, this might be a good one for you. I really like those shimmers. They don't look like much in the pan, but I think they look really pretty on the lid. And then these shades. I should tell you what shades the shadows are too here in a minute. Right there. So those are the swatches. On the back of the palette it says Hammamet 1, Nepal, Pattaya, Fuse, Fez, Tropical Express 1, Sophia, and Mekong. Those are the shadows that are in here. Each shadow is 0.06 ounces, which is a pretty nice amount of product that you're getting for shadows. And then the blushes are 0.13 ounces per shade, and Laguna is 0.13 as well. So you're getting a pretty massive amount of product in here. And again, that is the Nars Make Up Your Mind Express Yourself palette, and I got this at Ulta as well. So at the risk of not being able to get my video up for you guys today, I'm going to go ahead and end the haul there and get to editing, and then I need to go riding. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.